What it do, YouTube? Shout out to all my family out there. Shout out to the Pats Nation. Everybody from the Negro League, TTC. Everybody from the Black Manosphere. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, Edward Anderson, the Angry Man, aka the Street Conservative, DGS Iltmore. Shout out to Black Ram. Shout out to everybody from the SYSPM, Iltmore. People from the Black Academia, Dr. Tealson Johnson, Dr. Ron O'Neill, Gigi, aka Green Gorilla, and Dr. Tommy Curry, and Dennis Sperling. Man, 2020 has been such an interesting year. Man, this was a reflecting year. If it's not, it should. 2020's taught me a couple of things, and I'm just being blessed that I made it through the end of the year. I'm about done paying for my truck, y'all. I was supposed to pay for it this month. Had a lot of things that I had to pay for again. You know, when you're dealing with the trucking industry, not everything's set in stone. So hopefully I can get this last, truck note before the Super Bowl, or at least around in February, so I can be done with this. Got $6,500 left to pay off on it, so that's a very good blessing. Anyway, what 2020 taught me, man, and it's crazy because COVID, when the outbreak happened back about in November, December of last year, when they was talking about it, I thought it wasn't going to be that bad, but came March of early this year, that crap just was a trickle-down effect. It literally ate the economy. And pretty much, if anybody's sitting over there talking about, well, the economy crumbled due because of it, yes and no. I mean, if anybody looked through the articles, if anybody was reading the writing on the wall, if anybody was paying attention, your economy was already declining, like, before 2020 even hit. Like, if anybody followed BGS Iltmore, like, he told y'all that the jobs were being laid off, which it was, because of course I drive and deliver at these distribution centers. I've seen where they have laid off workers, like inside, like at these warehouses. Certain towns, certain businesses were being closed. Like, it was already declining. It was just at a slower process. COVID pretty much just sped things up. It sped things up as in laying you off. A lot of the jobs were non-essential anyway, which is i.e. meaning that your jobs could be easily replaced by artificial intelligence and automation, i.e. robots. So that's one thing. A lot of your fast food restaurants is being headed by kiosks. So all you really need is literally like 3 or even 2 employees that's working behind the shelf in the kitchen. You already got these micro robotics that they're working on, because I keep getting these things on my Facebook about robotic hands cooking the fries and cooking the burgers and stuff. That technology is already out. It wasn't on a priority to put those things in place. But because everything got affected, that just incentivized companies to say, hey, let's go ahead and just let these people go. We was going to let them go anyway. Why not just let y'all go now? And y'all got the boot. I hate to say that, but hey, that's the reality. A lot of y'all getting laid off. A lot of people on Wall Street, y'all got laid off because New York, they was on that lockdown hard. Andrew Cuomo still ain't shit. But I digress. But anyway, yeah, so that Georgia, I'm from Atlanta, so we was only shut down for like 2 months, and then by the time May hit, everybody was out there partying. because they lifted the curfews and all the other shit. So did Florida. So they was like, really, Florida and Georgia kind of go hand in hand when it comes to some of these policies anyway. So when I took my home time for my birthday, hell, it was still lit. I mean, that, and then we was going through the whole thing with Ahmaud Arbery, the killing down there in Brunswick, Breonna Taylor, freaking George Floyd, and I hate that happened around my birthday, because they was rioting when I got down to Atlanta on my birthday, man. And the streets was filled with freaking protesters, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the goddamn good old boys, the Boogaloo boys. I mean, it was just crazy, man. I sat right here, ended up having to find my cousin, trying to link up with my cousins down in town in Atlanta. Shout out to Susie, shout out to Maxie, love y'all. But it ended up getting hit with tear gas, like straight out of nowhere near the Westin Hotel, man. It was just, the shit was just crazy, man. It was like borderline almost the day, what's that movie called? The Day After Tomorrow. The Day After Tomorrow, where people, or World War Z, where motherfuckers rioting, and it's like World War Z, the day after tomorrow, because we hitting these snow weathers down. The snow came kind of late this year, but it's hitting hard as hell. Goddamn, I say World War Z because I find it fascinating. After the election, they now got the vaccine available. I find that very interesting. After the vaccine haven't even went to clinic trials yet. So this is pretty much the testing stage. And any of you motherfuckers that's out there getting this vaccine and getting shot, you deserve whatever happens to you. Because it won't be, I definitely won't be taking it. Hell to the no. Sitting over here after the election, and next thing you know, you talking about, oh, Pfizer here? Man, nigga, please. So, and my whole thing is that I was able to save up some money, man. Didn't spend too much. Kind of got affected with the freight because certain distribution centers were closed early this year, like especially early summer, and it ended up how can I say it? It ended up being kind of like an okay year, especially my pay. It ended up being I was able to like get back on track like September. So September, October, and November, definitely November was a pretty good month for me, which was last month. It was actually a pretty damn good month. So I was able to get a lot of money up. But I guess because everything went back open, well, certain distribution centers opened up, especially Tyson. They had a couple distribution centers that closed, especially at Waterloo, Iowa. But I don't really pick up there. But yeah, man, I'm glad, anybody that's still, out there doing your thing, man. I'll say it like this, man. From this point on, the environment done changed, man. You got hoes sitting over here going on OnlyFans, and I meant to talk about that. That goes into my next segment, man. For you dudes out there that got your stuff together, the world is your oyster. If you don't have any kids, don't have any like strong debt, like a lot of student loans, credit card, I can consider mortgage in there, but if you got a good paying job or a good hustle, I would consider a mortgage to be good debt, because that turns into equity. Always real estate is always good equity, depending on the economy. But because we finna go into another housing crash. A housing market's finna bust again, which it really didn't even recover from 2008. Nothing really didn't even recover from 2008. Obama just charged the shit on the credit card, and that was it. I mean, but if you got your shit together, man, like I said, all in all, the world is finna be your oyster. You finna have women that you never even probably heard of, who you probably had a secretly crush on. Some of them who might even been secretly trying to choose up on you. You know, they was over there choosing on the low. You're gonna come up, they're gonna start coming to you with offers. Yeah, they're gonna start coming to you with offers. They're gonna be like, hey, big head, be like, hey, stranger, it's been a while. Be like, and especially these texts usually kills me when you out doing something. Like if you put the shit on, like let's say like on IG or Facebook or your story, or IG on your story. Sometimes your IG, you may have it your settings to where if your IG is connected to your Facebook, you can record on your IG story and it automatically is going to get sent to your Facebook story as well. So if you doing something like that, showing what you doing, you know, be parlaying, you know, be on some bullshit, like popping bottles, you know, eating out at good ass restaurants, Ruth Chris, STK, you know, Nakados or whatever, you know, let's just give him examples. Wherever you are, you know, they gonna hit you like, oh, you ain't tell me anytime, why you ain't bring me? See, them messages like that be killing me. It always have, because you be like, bitch, who is, like, nobody didn't think about you when I was doing my thing. Like, why would you even come up in my DM and ask me that dumbass crap, man? Like, stuff like that kills me. And I know brothers out there getting those type of messages, it just be so random. See, that beats the notion that only dudes are socially awkward. Hey, but women coming around texting niggas in their DMs on some socially awkward shit, ain't that about a bitch, man? So that kills that whole little myth about that. I mean, it's literally putting women in position and being vulnerability. And I'm telling dudes, man, be picky on the women that you choose. Be picky on who you give your time to, including dudes, people in your circle. A lot of individuals out here are struggling. They were struggling before, but they are actually struggling now. You have to understand, average American in the United States of America don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. Don't even have $1,000. A lot of your American people were living paycheck to paycheck. Quiet as it kept. I mean, people knew, but people didn't know. Kind of like people, like, I guess when you in an environment where you see people getting money and something like that, you kind of like think that everybody's doing their own thing, but you have to understand that's only a small segment of individuals. Like I said, 80% of the GDP were non-essential jobs, meaning that 80% of your jobs were trash jobs. COVID exposed a lot of shit. It exposed that the American economy was weak as hell. And it really the dollar, the American dollar ain't shit neither. I mean, hell, once it got off the gold standard back in the day, that was it. I mean, my thing is that this whole thing is just don't let people feed y'all in the delusion, man, that this shit is gonna ever be back normal, bro. This crap, 2021. I hope everybody, you know, can get on their feet however they can. But I already know in reality most can't. 2021, even if all the stuff is restricted, even if everybody can come outside, do what they do, your economy is dead. It's almost as if you went underground because there was a nuclear bomb that dropped. you came out 15 years later, you'd be like, hey, we can come outside, but everything else is dead. It's like the same feeling without the nuclear bomb for next 2021. That's how it's going to feel like. You going to come back outside with businesses gone, with freaking probably the nightlife is gone, because a lot of your clubs couldn't make any money. A lot of your strip clubs couldn't make any money because they was closed. Other than if you have to go to Atlanta, Houston, or Florida, who really didn't abide by the cities who didn't really didn't restrict shit like that. Yeah, the cases are up, but motherfuckers looking like, hey, bodies just gonna have to drop. That's how they looking at the shit. Bodies are just gonna have to drop out here, but the economy's just gonna have to keep on moving. A lot of you niggas in cities, man, y'all need to move. If you have the purposely to move to get a career, especially if you try to, especially now, if you niggas are in trash, if you motherfuckers was not essential workers, if you was non-essential, wherever money you have, do not go back to college. If you listen to this video and you hear me, do not go back to college. Go to a technical school and get you a trade. You need to get into heating and air conditioning, get into plumbing, or get your CDL. If you don't want to do that route and you are a technocrat, you need to get a certificate for blockchain so you can get these certificates so you can start working on what old boy was talking about on the Brain Trust, machine learning, deep learning, and reinforcement learning. I'll do a video down the line about that, because he dropped some major bombs on that. But you need to get into that so you can possibly go move like Dallas, Texas, where Tesla's supposed to be coming in, and you can start working in as being like, or even in coder, so you can learn how to code. So my thing is that y'all need to get these, and these jobs are paying like 80 grand and up. These jobs are going to be easily 6-figure income job. I know a dude who got like 2 of his certificate. He making 165 grand a year. He didn't even go. He had an IT degree, but he went and got 2 certifications, man. He said if he went and did that, he went to a technical, an IT school. And I told him, I said, yeah, them student loans, like, college is overrated now. You don't even really need no degree. You don't. If you going to school, getting a degree, that's financial suicide. That is financial suicide. And you best believe, yeah, Biden and Harris is in office, but there's not much they can do for you anyway. Whatever they told y'all, they not going to be able to do shit for y'all anyway. Y'all not going to get welfare because the government don't even have the money for that. Your stimulus check, the corona pretty much relief bill for y'all stimulus check, that is your welfare money. That's your welfare money. And guess what? 2021, man, I'm in the verse. Like I said, I'm seeing if they're gonna go ahead and implement that UBI. And Joe Biden definitely ain't shit, because he should have picked Andrew Yang as in his cabinet. I don't know if he's finished, complete with his cabinet picking, but I haven't heard Andrew Yang. I was on the Yang Gang train. Just like my boy Complex Design, Ulysses, shout out to you when you hear my video. I was on that because I'm like, you need to guide people in the populace into these tech jobs. You're getting to the 4th industrial complex. People need to get trained up on new skills, especially if they're going to survive. But my thinking is that I don't believe people gonna have the mental fortitude, because it's been too much socialism. It's been too much dialing down on men's masculinity. A lot of dudes out here in their feelings, moving like females. A lot of your women out here moving masculine like dudes. Everybody's not in their, specifically gender roles. Everybody out here is strung out on drugs. White folks out here committing suicide, like on the heroin and the fentanyl fentanyl that's going on out here, which they keep sleeping on, which the general media, which is fucking liberal as hell, won't even fucking cover the shit. CNN, MSNBC won't even cover like people getting strung out on drugs because they suffering from what's going on in the economy. So my whole thing is that, yes, I hope, everybody have a blessed year 2021. But bruh, the cannon's finna fire 2021. I don't know why people happy. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. I don't know why y'all happy. This shit done hit the fans, man. The shit done hit the fans. And I didn't even include they gonna lift up the moratoriums for evictions coming out in January and February. Like, a lot of y'all finna get let go of y'all homes, man. A lot of y'all who owe backed up rent when you staying at your apartment and now you think you finna just leave, yeah, you gonna get evicted, but guess what? You still gonna have to owe that debt to whatever apartment you going through. Don't think because you was able to not pay your rent and you getting kicked out, that is not going to affect you because of COVID. Them property managers are going to get their money. Just like if you get evicted, guess what? That is on your record. A lot of times you can't even get another apartment if you still owe money to another property manager, whatever fucking apartment that you in. Those same rules are still going to apply. So you're not gonna be able to escape this. Like this is like niggas is not playing with y'all, bro. If y'all was not on y'all shit and y'all was lollygagging, man, 2021. You think 2020 was bad? 2021 is just gonna be just as worse. And that's where it's gonna literally be do or die, every man for himself, especially for you women. You finna see, and I don't give a damn. Shout out to Glennon Cameron, but one thing I would disagree with him with, where he was saying that women will pitch their money and all live in their house, I would have to say, where they gonna get the money from, bruh? A lot of your women will live in paycheck to paycheck. A lot of your women are consumerists by nature, because women really don't even build. All they do is buy. Women spend 75 cents of a dollar. 75 cents of a dollar, bruh. That's why you see a lot of things get pandered to women when it comes to retail, when it comes to like entertainment. All that get pandered to women because women spend the most money. When you go into church, you mainly see, especially in the black community, you mainly see 85% of them filled with women. Why? Because it's mainly them giving tithes to the goddamn pastor, who ain't worth the damn, who ain't shit, who sits over here and tell women what they want to hear. So, when he said that, I was like, no, I vehemently disagree. Your women gonna be an influx of homeless just like the black men too. It's just the fact that women can probably be able to get back inside homes, probably live with their parents, or probably find some little Carlton Banks simp. Yeah, even though you gonna have to fuck that nigga for room and shelter, and you will fuck him, because it ain't no way in an environment you gonna think you finna leech off somebody and you ain't giving them the punani. That's just delusional. But the thing is that even with that, a lot of women, and that's if you look good. That's if you look good. A lot of y'all who's really average and below, you literally are going to have to, you really going to be literally going to be struggling to survive. So, I mean, and all in all, I'm actually glad that they still had NBA season. I'm still glad they had the NFL, the hockey, everything else, all the sports, man. Shout out to my Lakers for being 2020 champs. Shout out to my Dodgers. being 2020 champs, man. 2 teams from my city, you know, becoming champs at the same time. Super Bowl is going to be held in Tampa this year, which I know my, you know, the company I'm from, company that I work for is based out of there. So y'all know I'll be taking home time for that. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the Stanley Cup for hockey. So, you know, shout out to them, man. And it's just 2020, man. I hope this has been a learning year for everybody. You know, I know we've been through, especially black community, you've been through a lot. Like I said, with the police killing, you know, the riots, the spike of the freaking virus, you know, because I know before, you know, during that time, I was thinking that it was a hoax until my dad and girl who I'm dating, they both caught it. And so I really had to take the thing seriously. So even though I was wearing my mask and stuff, I really started backing away from people, man. So I just want y'all, everybody, to be safe. 2021. I just want to tell everybody, Happy New Year and peace to everybody.